Have you been having mysterious Wi-Fi dropouts? Smart devices that are no longer smart and need resetting? Then this video could be for you. So if you're new to the channel and you've not seen any of the content before, it's pretty much devoted to off-grid, solar, battery and everything in between, and obviously more recently going on-grid. But there was one problem that I've been having for a number of years that I couldn't really put my finger on until recently. So one of my off-grid systems sits downstairs and basically it's been there for a long time, and I use the other ones in my garage. But the problem I found was that I kept getting, almost for years now, been getting Wi-Fi dropouts, and there's some smart lights in the kitchen as well, and also I've got an Alexa, sorry if that's woken up for you, Echo Flex that I use for timers and so forth within the kitchen as well. And what I couldn't understand was it kept dropping out, so I kept finding that, you know, I'd need to reattach it or reset it, switch it on and off, etc. And then one day I had a revelation linked to what I'd been learning at college as part of my electrician's journey about electrical interference. So I bought one of the electrical monitors, if you like. It's one of these. In actual fact, this is the very unit. And I bought this, and what I will say is I don't know how accurate it is, and I need to put a caveat for everything that you see in this video is I'm not an expert on this. This is just basically me observing something and trying to find a cause and an effect of changing something. So I'm not an expert in this. There's nothing scientific about this video, but this was what I really wanted to get my hands on. I'll put a link in the description below if you're interested as a result of what I find with my tests and share with you. One of the problems with this particular device is the fact that once you start using it, you pretty much use it on everything that moves in your house, anywhere you go really, just to find, I suppose, being inquisitive as a human, you want to find out what things are radiating. Again, I'm not an expert on this. I just want to be very clear on that. And the tests that you see in this video are not scientific in any shape or form. So first up, I'm going to go through showing you what I've done or what I've looked at before and just replicating the checks that I've done on my EASUN 24 volt inverter, which has been featured on this channel a lot. And I'm sure the people or the doubters about transformerless inverters are probably cheering if they've landed on this video now. I've had a number of comments on many videos that I've done about transformerless hybrid inverters, these off-grid ones, more expensive and cheaper ones. And yeah, and I've always maintained the fact that not everybody can afford a Victron. You tend to buy what you can afford and what you can afford to run, and a lot of them offer very good value, so I want to be clear on that as well. But in no uncertain terms, the EASUN and some of the other ones that I've reviewed have been given a bit of stick really in the comments. So, I mean, I'll leave you to find or search for those if you so wish. But yeah, the first one I'm going to test really is the EASUN inverter, which I've been using for years now. And despite the doubters, it still works perfectly. But yeah, the results were quite surprising. But I'll let basically the test that I've run do the talking now, and then I'll just go through at the end what I've changed. But you'll pretty much see from that in the summary. But yeah, here we go with the first test. Right, let's check around the box itself to see if we've got anything radiating from it. It's just got the extension lead plugged in at the moment and it's switched on. The solar charge controller is just doing its thing there, so it's not using the solar charge controller that's built in. So let's see what we've got on here. I'm sorry about the noise in the background, that's the washing machine. As you can see, look, on the box itself it's even radiating interference, or EF anyway. I try and stay away from displays because displays can sometimes, as I've checked on everything else that I've been testing, push up the value or the the EF that's coming out. But I'm looking around here, so we're going down to where the cables are connected, and as you can see, it's going out of range. Let's move up. Let's see what we've got along the top. Yeah, it's going up. Let's just have a look at the unplugged solar cables. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's leaking out of there. Yeah, it's at the plug and on the plug lead as well. So it does look like it's leaking a fair amount. Okay, I suppose we better get on and do some tests. Right, test number one now. I've just got this resting on the socket that comes from the inverter. As you can see, the inverter's completely off. There is no solar attached at the moment, and it's currently charging using the Victron smart solar charge controller into the batteries, as you would expect. So let's switch on the inverter and then wait for the click, and we will, I'm sure, see a change on the EF scale. And there's the click. So what's that settling around? It's around the late 290s. Okay, I'm going to unplug this now, plug in the solar, and then switch this back on. So let's just switch that off, just to make sure that drops off. There we go. Right, so I've just plugged it in and it's literally just woken up now, ready to go into solar charge mode. The inverter is switched off at the moment, so let's see what we get. Obviously there's no click, so yeah, you can see it's still coming through with EF, even though the inverter's not switched on. So not too bad, it's still coming through as green at the moment. So let's switch it on. I just heard the click, and we're into the high range now, so that's definitely having the solar charge controller that's built into the inverter and the inverter on at the same time has definitely boosted it up. Okay, so that looks like it does increase the interference when you have both of them working off of the inverter, which you'd expect because it is a hybrid inverter. So I'm going to test the other end now. Okay, so I'm at the other end of the garden now on this extension lead, which is plugged into the inverter, and look what we've got there. I don't know if you can see that, I might have to capture it, but we've got out of range. So this is just next to the wire. So that's obviously got the interference is being transmitted, if you like, dirty power along the wire, and I'm not even got anything plugged in at the moment. So yeah, this is pretty much like a transmitter. I can't, so I'll probably pick the worst day to do this on, but even when it's a little bit away from it, you can still see it's still radiating that interference, and now a plane overhead as well. Brilliant. So yes, that moves on. So I'm just going to check the solar cables out on the actual solar panels and just see if we're getting the same level on that as well. Okay, so these are the cables to the solar panels, and as you can see, it's maxed everything out on them. So again, these are showing up the interference not only on that, but MF is on the top scale as well, but obviously the one that does all the interfering from my experience anyway is the EF, and that's running at the top of the scale. So okay, let's swap it over back to the Victron and then see what it turns into. Right, so this is now plugged back in, as you can see right there. So that is now, I think it's showing on there as well, yes, it's bulk charging. So that's now plugged in. This is switched back on as well, and I've left everything the same. The extension lead is still in there. So let's go to the end of the garden and then also go back and just check the solar cables as well, leading to the solar panel. Right, so I came back to the solar cables first because it was still here. And as you can see, it's dropped off significantly. There's no MF radiation even coming now. And it's dropped significantly on the EF side as well. So I'm hoping that's in focus. I can't see much on this, but let's go and check the extension lead out. All right, here we go. So it looks to me as if it's around the 700 mark. So it's still obviously showing that from the inverter. Let's put it on there as well, just see what we're getting from there. It's still going up to almost the maximum. So yeah, it's looks like its worst case scenario is in the solar controller and the inverter mode. But yep, so that is definitely showing that elsewhere. And again, I don't know if you can see that. And again, sorry, I've picked the worst day to do this, but yes, so it looks like that interference is travelling as well on both lots of cables. and it's not as bad when I'm using the Victron solar smart controller. So it's only fair to do as a close to direct comparison as I can. So this is the 24 volt MPP solar inverter, one of the first ones I've got. Currently using it on my dump, or one of my 6 kilowatt hour dump batteries. I've taken the lid off so you can see it also. Yeah, it's just going to have a look now to see whether we've got anything at the plug socket, which is, you might hear the dehumidifier that I've got plugged into at the moment kick off, but let's move that around there, try and get that as close as I can. Try and flip it, but there is nothing. Let's try and move that around. No, it's still showing as in the green. Let's move it around a bit more just to make sure. Again, sorry about the glare. It's not been a great day for filming displays. But yeah, it's still in the green. Right, let's look at the socket, which you'd expect some on anyway. But look at that, green. Green wire. Yeah, green. You're going to have a bit in there, but yes. So that's an interesting reading then. So yeah, it looks like even there. Look, it's come up a little bit now. It's fluctuating a bit, and that's probably because what I've got plugged in at the moment, which is just this. So yeah, generally it's in the green. There's nothing really around the box as such. So yeah, I think the EASUN is a little dirtier, if there is such a term, on the interference side. So as you've seen, not all hybrid inverters are the same. My good faithful old MPP 24 volt solar inverter, as you've seen, is not radiating anywhere near as much as the EASUN has been for so long. What I will say is the fact that the actions that I've done to mitigate some of the interference, as in the inverter's not always on now because I'm not using the solar charge controller element as it stands at the moment, that was purely more by luck, because I actually found this issue after I'd already got the Victron smart solar charge controller. So that was part of my test really for my EV off-grid charger, suggested in the top corner now if you haven't seen that. So that's actually to go on that particular setup once I get it, you know, sorted out on the wall and get it run into the 1360 watts worth of panels in the garden, which, you know, featured, or the wires featured within the test that I've run for this video. So yeah, that's kind of alleviated some of the problems actually with the interference. So I'm finding that the lights in the kitchen, the smart lights in the kitchen, aren't dropping off as much, and I've only needed to do a couple of restarts of the Echo Flex. I've not said the name for obvious reasons. And I know that when I run that inverter, I'm going to get interference, and likely I'm going to have to reset those particular devices, or the Wi-Fi around the garage area and probably slightly into the garden is going to be a little bit up and down when that inverter is on. But that'll become less and less apparent, and I might even switch over to the 24 volt Phoenix inverter I've got from Victron as well to try and smooth things out on that front. So yeah, now I know about the problem. I know what to expect, and I know how to work around it until I can move that EASUN away. And this isn't meant to be alarmist or anything like that. It's the fact that, you know, if you're running it in an environment that the EF stuff doesn't matter, then again, that's your choice if you wish to do so. I'm still going to use the inverter. It's just now that I've got a better idea of what it's kicking out in terms of interference, and the effects it's had, and changing those small things, and even the solar charge control element has improved things for me. So I'm completely aware of that, and again, the people have been sort of less than happy with these cheaper inverters. Again, they're not all the same, as I've shown just with the two that I've tested and shown in this video. So I'm sure there's going to be comments around this, but if you do have any, please put them in the section below. And even if you just want to do some laughy faces or some, take the mick as such of what I found now. It still won't put me off, and I'm still going to review things for people of all budgets and all interests, so that's never going to change. But if you do have any comments, questions, or you just want to know a bit more about it, just pop it in the section below. Thanks again for watching and your patience, and I'll see you soon.